The Boy Who Spoke to Animals. Chapter 1. The mysterious gift. In a small village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a boy named Theo. He was an aged, ordinary child, in many ways small for his age, with bright brown eyes and untamed hair. But there was one thing about Theo that made him different from everyone else. Theo could talk to animals. It wasn't something he had asked for. It wasn't something he had learned from a book or a teacher. It just happened one afternoon when he was playing in the meadow behind his house. He was alone, surrounded by tall grasses that swayed in the wind, when a rabbit hopped up to him, looked him in the eyes, and started speaking. "Hello, Theo," the rabbit said, twitching its nose in greeting. "You're here early today." At first, Theo thought he was dreaming, or perhaps the heat had gotten to his head. But when the rabbit spoke again, his heart skipped a beat. "You can hear me, can't you?" the rabbit asked, its voice gentle and clear. "You're talking," Theo exclaimed, staring at the rabbit in disbelief. "Yes, I am," the rabbit replied. "And you can understand me, which is quite rare." Theo didn't know what to say. He had heard of people who had special talents, but talking to animals, it sounded impossible. Why can I understand you?" Theo finally asked, still wide-eyed. "Because, Theo, you have a gift," the rabbit said. "You've always had it, but today it awakened. You can speak to any creature, now large or small, and they will understand you." Theo couldn't process everything that was happening. He didn't know if he should feel excited or scared. "I don't know what to do with this gift," he sighed, looking at the rabbit with uncertainty. "Just remember this," the rabbit said, standing on its hind legs for a moment. "Your gift isn't just for you. It's for everyone. Use it wisely." With that, the rabbit hopped off into the meadow, leaving Theo with more questions than answers. His life would never be the same again. Chapter 2. A world of voices. After that strange encounter with the rabbit, Theo's world seemed different. The next day, as he walked through the village, he started to notice more and more animals looking at him curiously. Birds perched on nearby trees, squirrels scurried up to him, and even the stray dogs that roamed the streets stopped to gaze at him with understanding in their eyes. They were waiting, as if they knew something had changed. Theo decided to test it out. He bent down near a small bird perched on a fence and sighed. "Hello there." The bird tilted its head in surprise, but then replied, "Oh, you can hear me. That's new." Theo smiled, excited by the discovery. "I can hear you. What's your name?" The bird fluffed its feathers and chirped. "My name is Pip. I've never met anyone who could hear me before. This is amazing." Over the next few days, Theo spoke to animals of all kinds. He talked to the cows in the fields, the cats lounging in the sun, and even the foxes that darted through the woods. He learned that each animal had its own personality, thoughts, and stories to tell. Some were curious about Theo's world, while others had wisdom that came from their long lives in the wild. As the days passed, Theo's bond with the animals grew stronger. He found comfort in their company, knowing they understood him in a way that humans couldn't, and in return, he listened to their stories, each one a piece of the great puzzle of life that Theo was beginning to unravel, but not everyone was happy about Theo's newfound ability. Chapter 3. The villagers' disbelief. Word quickly spread through the village that Theo could talk to animals. At first, people were skeptical. A child talking to animals? Nonsense, they said. But when Theo spoke to a cat in front of the village, Square and the cat responded, the townspeople began to whisper. Some were fascinated by Theo's gift. The blacksmith's son, Ben, came to Theo every day, eager to learn about the animals Theo spoke to. Can you ask the horses what they think of the new stable? He'd ask, his eyes wide with wonder. Others, however, were not so kind. The village elder, an old woman named Mistress Orla, was suspicious of Theo's abilities. She believed that any power outside the realm of human understanding was dangerous. There's something unnatural about this, she muttered to anyone who would listen. One afternoon, she cornered Theo in the village square. Boy, I've heard the rumors, she said, her voice sharp. What's this about you speaking to animals? You should keep such things to yourself. Theo didn't know what to say. I don't want to cause trouble. I just can hear them. Double quotes enough. Mistress Orla snapped. You must not use this power recklessly. It could bring harm to you and to the village. The creatures of the wild are not to be trusted. Theo's heart sank. He had never intended to upset anyone. He simply wanted to help and learn. But the elder's words stung, and he wondered if she was right. Maybe he had to be more careful with his gift. That night, as he lay in bed, Theo heard a soft knock on his window. It was Pip, the little bird from the fence. Are you okay, Theo? The bird asked softly. You seem troubled. I am, Theo replied, opening the window to let Pip in. The villagers don't understand. They think I'm doing something wrong. They're afraid because they don't know what your gift can mean, Pip said. But you can make a difference. You can help them see that you're not a danger. Theo thought about it. He wanted to show the villagers that his gift was meant for good, but he didn't know where to start. Start small, Pip suggested. Do something kind for the villagers using your gift. Show them that you can help. Chapter 4. The flood. A week later, disaster struck. A sudden storm swept through the village, bringing torrential rain that flooded the nearby river. As the water rose, the villagers began to panic. The riverbank was on the brink of collapsing, and the homes closest to the water were in danger of being swept away. In the chaos, Theo knew he had to act quickly. He ran to the river, where a group of beavers were busy building a dam. The water had already risen too high for the beavers to keep up, and the dam was in danger of breaking. Please, you have to help, Theo called to them. The river is rising, and if it breaks, the whole village will be flooded. The beavers looked at Theo with understanding in their eyes. We know, said one, its voice deep and steady. We are doing what we can, but the water is too strong. Theo felt a surge of determination. There has to be something more we can. Can you work together with the other animals? I'll help you communicate with them. Theo ran to the nearby forest and called out to the animals. He spoke to the deer, the squirrels, and the birds. Together they worked in harmony, gathering branches, logs, and stones. The animals dug, carried, and stacked the materials to reinforce the dam, all the while communicating with Theo to coordinate their efforts. By the time the villagers arrived, the dam was holding strong. The floodwaters began to recede, and the village was saved. Chapter 5. A new beginning. The villagers were stunned. They had seen the animals working together, and they had seen Theo's role in it. When the storm finally passed and the sun came out, the villagers gathered in the square, murmuring among themselves. Mistress Orla, who had been the most vocal in her disapproval of Theo, walked up to him, her face softened by the events. "I see now," she said, her voice quieter than usual. "You have a gift, Theo, a rare gift, and you used it wisely." Theo smiled, but he didn't feel proud. "I just wanted to help." "You did," Mistress Orla replied. "And that is what matters. You've shown that there is more to this world than we can see with our eyes. The animals have their wisdom, and you've helped us understand it." From that day forward, the villagers no longer feared Theo's gift. They welcomed his ability to communicate with the animals. And Theo became a trusted friend to both people and creatures alike. He learned that with great gifts came great responsibility, and that kindness, understanding, and respect for all living beings were the keys to using his gift wisely. And as Theo grew older, he continued to speak to the animals, helping them and the villagers live in harmony. His gift, which had once been a mystery, became a bridge between two worlds, the world of humans and the world of creatures, bound together by a boy who could speak to animals. The end.